How you doing? This is Sam Tolley. I generally try to approach my videos with notes, thinking things through, come with a game plan. You know, I try to give people information and I'm trying to get them to think. This time I'm just speaking from my heart. And I'm asking a question to many of my liberal democratic friends, especially black Christian liberal democratic friends. What is it? What is it that attracts you to the Democratic Party? I mean, I'm just trying to understand. I'm not saying you gotta be a Republican, but why in God's name are you still associated with those folks? I mean, President Biden, and I do call him question mark because there's a lot of unanswered questions that need to be answered. I mean, he just stated recently that his administration is going to be based on science and truth. And this is the same man that tells you that a boy can become a girl or a girl can become a boy. That is not science. And that definitely isn't truth. And as for black people, you know, Charles Barkley had it right when he said black folks have been following Democrats for over 50 years and they're still poor. The Democrats have been constantly throwing their carrot out in front of us, a carrot that we can never reach. Never. But they've programmed people to thinking that they are the only way. Instead of Jesus, that we must follow them. And then I get all these black folks that look at me like I got 3 heads because I won't do it. You know, you got the plantation herders and you got the gatekeepers. You know, the gatekeepers in the news media and these so-called preachers and other so-called civil rights leaders that say they're looking out for black folks that work for the Democratic Party. And what do? They just keep you herded in. Year after year after year, promise after promise, and nothing ever happens. And all you do is keep running back to them. It reminds me of a battered housewife. She gets the hell beat out of her all the time. And then when her friends say, "What's wrong with you?" And their mind is so jacked up, they say, "Well, I mean, the only reason why he beats me is because he loves me." And you guys stay with these people. And they keep promising to do good by you. They put all the dadgum abortion clinics in the black community. Just about. What do? They're going to offer you an EBT card, let you get high, give you a few dollars. I mean, these squad people are talking about, well, you should get $2,000 a month from the government. Why? You know, it seems like all people are interested in is having folks suck on the big giant governmental mammary gland. It keeps you locked up. It doesn't free you up to do anything. As long as you depend on the government, you will never account to anything. Why do you think black folks, liberal black folks, are pretty much at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder? Not conservative black folks. Conservative black folks learned a long time ago that if you want something, you got to go get it yourself. But these liberal black folks keep depending on the government. And they fall for the lies that the gatekeepers give them about Trump being a racist. Well, if Trump was a racist, he was lousy at it. Because we had the highest black unemployment in history. Black folks were making more money under that racist Trump. Can you imagine that? And here we got Biden talking about cutting down Keystone Pipeline. That's going to raise gas prices. First thing, what did him and Kamala Harris say? First thing we're going to do is get rid of that Trump tax credit. What? You folks want to pay more taxes than one of you that's still working? I mean, how does that benefit you? And I don't hear them folks talking about disarming guns. I mean, getting rid of the police no more. Ever since they won, have you? Which was a stupid thing because the minority community is the one that needs the police the most. Now these folks want to disarm you. They want to take away our guns. And then they were talking about getting rid of the police. So who the hell are you going to call if something goes wrong? Ghostbusters? I mean, what they bank on and what they get is folks who think emotionally. You got to quit thinking emotionally and start thinking logically. You got to start using your brain. I talk to black liberals all the time who think that I'm stupid. And I try to give them examples. I try to give them historical information to help them see another perspective. And they refuse to look at it. It reminds me of what some racist person once said. Yeah, I'm talking about a racist white person. They said that if you want to keep something from black folks, put it in writing. Now, I'm going to correct that statement. That ain't true. If you want to keep something from liberal, democratic black folks, keep it and put it in writing. Because most of them won't pay attention to it. They'll just slip the crap on by. Case in point, H.R. 5. That Nancy Pelosi, that woman that's running the House of Congress, whose district people walk around the streets in San Francisco naked, shooting up drugs, fecal matter and crap all over the sidewalks. I mean, they even have maps up there for people so they can avoid the poop. And she sits up there and makes a video about her, what, $20-something thousand refrigerator? And you guys keep re-electing her and she is the third in line for the White House? Oh, man. Anyway, where the heck was I? These people don't care nothing about you. If they cared about you, they would let you be free to seek your own future. But they want to keep your mind locked up, keep your brain locked up, keep you dependent on them. Just like your new president, the one that said that you ain't black, if you don't know the difference between him and Trump, well, I guess I ain't black according to him. I mean, I've seen more done for black folks during the administration of Trump than I've seen in my lifetime. But they got you guys focused on, he's a racist, he's this, he's that, he's horrible, he's talking about Mexicans, he's talking about them. Look, I've been to Trump rallies. There were Mexicans, there were blacks, there were whites, there were Asians of all kinds of different ethnic groups. There were Africans from Africa. There were all kinds of people there. And they all had one thing in common. They weren't brainwashed. They were thinking people that knew what was better for their lives and knew what was better for America in their opinion. And that brings me to another point. I don't have a problem with you guys thinking one way. I have a problem with you thinking that I gotta think that way. Now, in my opinion, you're holding yourself back. But don't hold me back. Don't hold back any conservative. We're not gonna be held back. And frankly, we don't want you held back. That's why I ask, what the heck is the attraction? Why do you guys keep gravitating back to these same folks that's only promising you more misery, and they talk that mess about, oh, well, the Republican Party's for the rich. Well, hell, look at these Democrats. How many of them you don't think is rich? Joe Biden's got millions upon millions. And he's been in office all his life. Now you figure that one. Nancy Pelosi got millions upon millions. And she's been in office all her life. Look at Dianne Feinstein, millions upon millions. And she's been in office all her life. Have you ever considered how these people got all their money? It hasn't been because they're getting their check from the government. No, they're doing all kinds of other stuff. They might have a project over here that they give somebody the project, and some kind of way money gets to them. I mean, look, people, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and wonder why you haven't moved forward. And then you guys, they got you trained to act like crabs in a barrel, want to pull us down that want to move forward. Well, I got news for you. We're going to move forward. We would like to move forward with you, but we will move forward without you. But we don't want to leave you down there in that wallow, in that swamp. But if that's where you want to be, then be there. But we know what we're doing. And like this woman I saw on TV the other day on the I saw a snippet, because I never watched The View, talking about, oh, those 74 million people are brainwashed. And I'm hearing all this crap about we're this and we're that. It's amazing to me that you people will not even give us the decency to even talk to us, to find out where we're coming from, to see if we even make sense. I mean, when I try to explain stuff to you black liberals, most of you, there's a wall. You can't hear me. All you can think about is how you think I should think, instead of trying to figure out why I think the way I think. You're not interested in that. You're interested in correcting my thinking to think like you. Well, I used to think like you many years ago. And then one day I woke up, way before this walkaway thing. I woke up in the late 80s during the end of the Reagan administration. I woke up one day trying to figure out, gee, this man doesn't sound like the monster they say he is. I woke up one day trying to figure out, why does the Democratic Party, whom I'm supposed to be a part of, want to do a lot of things that are antithetical to God? Why do these people support abortion? Why do these people support homosexuality? And now, why do these people support transgenderism? And I said, and I'm for the Bible. I said, how can I serve God and serve them too? I decided I'm going to serve God. And if God is who he says he is, then he's above all this stuff. And so I'm not going to compromise and pretend like I'm serving God while I'm serving the Democratic Party, because the way it's configured, you can't do the two. At least I don't see how you can, unless you got cognitive dissonance, and you got God in this box, and you got the Democratic Party in this big giant box, and you want to keep looking after them, because God doesn't look favorably on sin, killing his unborn, disfiguring his image, and sitting over there talking about, well, praise you, God. Which reminds me, I saw a post recently, a friend of mine. They said, well, God is not a Democrat or a Republican. Think about that, or something like that. And to me, that's okay, I know that. That's not nothing that's really mind-opening. I said, but the fact of it is this. Religion and politics govern every aspect of your life. Every last one of them. I mean, it's either going to be governed by religion or politics or both. And in the United States of America right now, unfortunately, you got two political parties that have the most power. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party. What's left of it, if they don't pull themselves together, there will be a new party and there will be no Republican Party. But nevertheless, you got those two polarizing forces. Now, as far as politics is concerned, for me, Samuel Tolley, I'm going to gravitate to whichever party leans closest to the cross. Meaning their things or their representation or their goals lying closer to the cross. Now, no way in the world, now if both of them was for homosexuality, for transgenderism, for killing babies in the womb, for euthanasia and all that, now I couldn't deal with neither one of them. So, since these folks are flatly abominable in the eyes of God, I got to stand up away from them. That's simple. That doesn't take brain scientists. That's easy. That's just what the Bible talks about being obedient. You know, when Jesus talking about these folks, well, they worship me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. You know, so anyone that's lining up with that nonsense, and I even heard this one preacher said, well, you know, I know that this, that, and the other, but I got to do what's best for my people. And in his mind, being best for his people was lining up with the Democratic Party. And I'm trying to figure out, what the hell is he doing in the pulpit? And that reminds me of one other thing. Those preachers in Georgia that wrote that letter to Warnick, asking him to disavow his belief in abortion while he was running for senator, you know, I got more respect for Warnick and his pagan, abortion-loving, God-hating self than those preachers. And you know why? Because those preachers, They should have just been calling Warnock out for the devil he is. They should have been calling him out for the fact that this is not a man of God. Instead of sitting over here trying to talk about, oh, well, get rid of the abortion thing so we can let our people endorse you. No, you're supposed to be watchmen all the time. You ain't supposed to be sitting over here compromising with the devil. That man had no business being in the pulpit in the first place. Now he's only sitting in the halls of Congress. There's time for the church to wake up, quit compromising, quit playing games, and stand up for the things of God. And so, I'm a Christian first. I'm a conservative second, and I just happen to be a black man. And I operate in that context, in that order. I view the world through the lens of Jesus Christ. I don't view Jesus Christ through the lens of the world. And all you people that stand up for the Democratic Party, that especially you folks that claim you're Christians, I just don't know how you do it. I just don't know what the attraction is. My. I'm out. I'm out.